Welcome to Deep Thought. Sleeping on a problem really works. I'm gonna tell you what, you ever have that elder or elders, or it could be multiple. And it'd be some major issue and they'd be like, let me sleep on it. Let me sleep on it or something. I'm gonna tell you what, that really works. Now, unless it's a problem that you had to solve right there on the spot, like an emergency situation, like you had to solve it right on the spot, sleep on it. Sleep on it. Here's why. Because when you sleep on it, first of all, you're getting rid of all the other issues. Because I'm gonna tell you what, when we're going through the day, we're thinking about a lot of things. We got a lot of things. We talking with people, we seeing stuff. We got the news propaganda hitting us. I mean, we might watch a ball game or something like that. We got all these things coming our way. All of a sudden, our mind is junked up. It's not clear. But then we go to sleep and then we start the day something new. In fact, it's been said the best time to really think about something, best time to really come up with something is really early in the morning. Really early in the morning, first thing in the morning. And there's been many, and that's something I follow. Unless it was a problem, an issue I needed to solve right there on the spot, I would just sleep on it. There's been many a time to this minute. I come up, there's something might happen, some issue will come up, I sleep on it, and then it's like, oh, that's how I solve it. Oh, that's what I talk about. Shoot, even did that with some videos, be thinking, oh, what I'm going to talk about, right? And then wake up the next morning and be like, oh, let me talk about this. Let me talk about that. In fact, I had a bunch of videos come up I needed to think about or needed to do, came up just in my last dream before I'm doing this video. But I'm going to tell you what, it really works. It really works because you clear your mind and then you open your mind up to something. And I'm going to go even deeper with that. And whether you want to call it your spirit or your subconscious, depending on where you stand, whether you're more spiritual, whether you're more scientific, the answer is always within you. And a lot of times, see, one thing, let's say your spirit or subconscious, I'll say whatever one, depending on which side you lean on. It's taking in every single thing around you, every single sound, every single smell, every single sight. You might not focus on it because you got to focus on what's right in front of you, but you taking in everything, right? Now, if you go to bed, say you go to bed with a question on your mind, sometimes your subconscious and your spirit, or your spirit, with your subconscious spirit, I'll use those terms like that, subconscious / spirit or spirit / subconscious, will answer the question for you in the morning. Like if you sleep on that problem, you had that problem when you go to bed and you just go to sleep, it'll answer it for you. Sometimes. It might not do it for everybody. Everybody don't have dreams or anything. In fact, when I use the term dreams, I've talked about dreams before. A lot of times they can answer questions for you. You might not be thinking about something, or you might have a problem with something. Let me put it that way. You might have a problem with something and you're like, I don't know what to think. But see, your subconscious has already seen the answer before, or your spirit has already seen the answer. So it'll tell you through your dreams or something. And sometimes it might not. Sometimes you just needed some rest. Because remember what I said, when you go through the day, you go through a lot of stuff. Think about all the stuff you go through during the day. Everything hitting your mind, all the thoughts. Think about it. You got the news propaganda, and I do mean propaganda. I'm going to keep using it when I talk about the news. The crazy stuff, especially with social media you might see, people you might deal with. You might be on a job or something where you have to, you big on customer service. You got to deal with a bunch of people. You got to deal with all this stuff, your relationships, family. You dealing with all this stuff. You got all this stuff on your mind. You still had this problem. But then you clear it out the next morning and you start up. one thing elders realized, they were like, oh, okay, this is what I need to do for it. Because they went to bed thinking about it. So that's going to be the first thing on their mind when they get up. They're going to be like, oh, this is what I need to do. And like I said, they might even have a dream or something to deal with that. But I'm going to tell you what, it actually works. It works. It works. If you, look, I always say, don't take my word for it. Try it yourself. Try it yourself. All right, just try it. Now, unfortunately, it don't work for everybody, because I remember a young man, he didn't dream at all. So I was like, okay. But try it anyway. If you have any issue that doesn't have to be solved right there on the spot. Now, an issue that has to be solved right there on the spot, that's different. That's different. And the only way you can solve that is through your own personal experience, or what your skill level is, depending on the problem. But if it's a problem that, say it's a problem that doesn't have to be solved right there, and it's like, okay, hold on, let me sleep on it. Let me sleep on it. Think about that problem as you go into sleep. And then when you wake up in the morning, see what solution you get. See what dreams you had. Write down your dreams. See what you're thinking about. See what's the first thing that comes to your mind when you wake up. And then apply it to the problem. And there's been many a time, like I said, I still do that. If there's an issue that comes up, I'm like, well, and I don't have to solve it right now, let me sleep on it. And it really works. Now, you have to see if it works for me. You have to see if it works for you. Like I said, everybody might not dream or have that issue, and you want to see. And it might be something different for you. What I'm sharing is what really works. What really works, what I've seen work for elders, what I've seen work for myself. Like I've had several elders say that. There'd be some problem, they'd be like, oh, let me sleep on it. And it'd be those elders, especially in South or something, they might not have had that same education you have or everything. They'd be like, oh, let me sleep on it. Then they'd tell you something, or, and I'm gonna tell you what, with a lot of elders, let me go on a tangent. A lot of times we thinking we can be more scientific, but they can see some stuff, right? I remember an elder had noticed that my co-parent became more shapely after we'd been together for a bit. And the elder just looked at it, no scientific, no metaphysical stuff, just looked at it and was like, oh yeah, y'all have a good relationship. Yeah, I was like, okay. So pay attention to that. They have some wisdom, or as this woman told me one time, country folk wisdom and stuff. But try it out for yourself. You have any issue that don't have to be solved right there on the spot, sleep on it first and see what you get in the morning, In the morning before that, you be out and about in the world, and a lot of other thoughts are coming in, especially if you go to bed on it. Just try it, all right? But it really works. It really works for Brother Rom, See if it worked for you. Or if it has worked for you, let me know. If you've done it, you had some of those elders too telling you the same thing. Let me know. All right? So anyway, that's all I have for right now. I'll get back with y'all. Peace and blessings.